Dr. Jazz.
Thanks for finding the time, first of all.
Of course. Yeah.
We're like 40 minutes away, but it's nice to see you again. So, uh,
It's true. Yeah,
yeah,
we are quite close.
we're very close. Yeah. I wanted to start this talk by asking you one thing. I saw first of all, you're incredibly busy. Last year, I think you're like on 15 albums or something like that. But one album that really popped out is this connection with Steve Swell that you had. And what's your story with Steve? You guys I know go quite way back already.
Mhm.
Like, how did you start playing with him?
Uh, Let me think. Mm, I mean, we knew each other for quite a while. Uh, if I can recall it right, I definitely met him in Europe
Hmm.
at the festival. Probably it was with the Brötzmann Tentet
Oh
because he
yeah.
played there. And years later, when I played in New York with Ken and Didi Kern, we played, how was it? Let me think. Ah, uh, it was he residency at the Zone. We played there, and Steve was also there, and we met again about playing together too, and then we started playing in duos.
Hmm.
Yeah, he contacted me, and we set up actually two little tours, and we started recording. We recorded during the tour, of course. That's how it started. And he also invited me to play in one of his uh, bigger ensemble projects in
Hmm.
Krakow.
Oh, okay.
And this was even before the duo, I think. So this was kind of the link,
Yeah.
sort of. Yeah, so I played in his ensemble, and as it was a residency, there was time to talk, and I got an idea of his work, also as a poet, because
Hmm.
he's
Such a
an
creative
incredible
guy. Yeah.
poet. Yeah, so I knew his poems too, and yeah, so
Hmm.
that's how it happened.
Yeah. You love the duo, right? You've done so much duo stuff.
Yeah,
What is it about the duo? First, logistically, of course, it's
yeah,
better to travel only two people, but still, like musically.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. But musically, also, it's the duo format. It's quite sincere. I mean, you
Mm,
cannot hide. It's not a third person. It's just the two of you, and it's very direct, and it works or not.
true.
So, yeah, you cannot hide. Yeah, it's very honest in a way.
Mm,
And I yeah, I like that, because you really exchange directly with this
this
vis-a-vis,
person.
I
Yeah, yeah,
could say.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Then another trio that I really love, but you gave me the CD of the trio last time with Dave Rempis and Michael Zarang. Uh, you guys are
Ah,
amazing together. And what's your story with those guys, and especially with the Chicago scene? Because, like, the last 10 years, you've become really
mm.
involved with the Chicago musicians. And how did you get involved
Yeah,
there?
but yeah, this is a long-standing relationship, because I think it was in 2008,
Already.
I I got a phone call. It was like in a dream. I got a phone call, and it was Mike Reed from
Really?
Chicago.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and he invited me to play at the Umbrella Music Festival in Chicago. And
Wow, okay.
this, why did this happen? Because before a lot of the Chicago musicians, they were playing in Europe, and they played in St. Johann in Tyrol. And 1 year I also played there. I think it was with Johannes Bauer. At that time. He was still alive.
Yeah.
And Clayton Thomas. This was the trio. And the Chicago people, they heard me play. And if it's right or not, I don't know. But Fred Lomberg-Holm told me that he was spreading the news about me, that there is this Austrian pianist, and that's how Mike Reed knew me, because I never met him. So this was this phone call from Chicago, like falling from the sky in a way. This is how we like it. It normally does not happen in real life, but
Yeah.
in this moment it happened. And so I went there, and I connected with some of the musicians there, and I already fell in love with the scene there, because everyone was very open. Musicians socialize, they are interested in your work, and this is how it started. And then there was Michael Zerang, for example, whom I know the longest, I could say, because he was the first who kind of initiated to do a house concert.
Ah, okay.
And through that, we started with our house concert series, because before I did not think about it. But then when Michael said, "Oh, it would be okay to do a house concert," he was on tour and somehow was nearby, and it was too short to find a proper venue in that time. So we did that. And I started really to like this format, and we are still doing it now. Of course, we have a little association behind it, but it was definitely initiated by Michael Zerang proposing me this idea of the house concert. So with Michael, I have been working a lot in Europe, but also in Chicago, and I meet the Chicago musicians at festivals since years. Yeah, and then later in 2010, I was an artist in residence at the OMI International Art Center in Upper New York, and I thought, as I'm already there, I could maybe connect it, going to Chicago again, and which I did. I had a travel grant from Austria. So this was my second time there, and again, I had a really beautiful time. So I, playing with Dave and a lot of Chicago musicians. And since then, we are in close contact. And also it was the first time I played with Ken in the Hideout. So this all goes back to the 2010, 2000, to
Quite a
that
long time
time.
ago already.
Yeah, a long time ago. And since then, we work together. We have like this trio you just mentioned. There is the trio with Ken, Didi, and myself. I have also a duo with with Michael Zerang. We have a duo with Dave Rempis. We also did duo concerts. And in 2020, I founded a new quartet, the Ear Scratcher Quartet. And this is, now I have them all together in a way, because it's a quartet with Dave Rempis and Tim Daisy and Fred Lomberg-Holm. Yeah, but 2020, we know it was not the ideal moment, but we insisted, and we did a beautiful tour in 2022 in Europe. And last year in December, we had a really nice tour with Ear Scratcher in Midwest, US Midwest. Yeah. So it's definitely one of my favorite groups in the moment, because it's just incredible to work with them. They are beautiful humans and really flexible, great players.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you that already. We never talked about that. Like, how did you? I know you started with classical piano, but how did you enter this improvised world? Did you hear like a specific concert, album, musician, or pianist that you said like,
Hmm.
shit, I really want to try this or do that? Like, how did this story begin with you?
Mm, uh, I could say listening to a concert by Joël Leandre was for
Ah,
me
really? Interesting.
really important because I could connect better to her way of playing than to like pianists who have a jazz background. This is
Mm-hmm.
something I could not
Interesting.
really uh, connect to because it's not my history. And with Joël, I share the same history. And when I heard her play, I was just blown away. I thought, wow, what is this? What is this kind of music? It's so creative, and I want to do that.
Mm.
So this was the moment because before, of course, I was interested in jazz, but I saw if I would now dig into the jazz piano, it would be like the mainstream way of playing piano in that world. I had the feeling, oh, it felt like classic,
Mm.
like
Yeah,
like again to learn all the skills. But I had my technical skills and everything from the classical education, and I thought I want to create. I want to find my own voice. I want to find my own language, and I was looking for a kind of music, or I would say I was looking for a practice, for a
mm,
musical practice. And then when I was introduced to creative music, to free improvisation, I knew that's it. This is my way. This this is what I want to do, and I'm still doing it. And it's a long, it's for my whole life.
mm.
Yeah. So this was important, but of course, then I got interested in it, and uh, I was super excited, but of course could not find in Graz, Austria.
Of
I could
course.
not really find the people to connect with this scene. But this was in my 20s, so I started going to workshops, and I had workshops with incredible people, like of course also with Joelle. And but now, meanwhile, we play together since many years. But
Sure.
it's just beautiful. She's a different generation, and I'm still learning from her. Yeah, like workshops with Joelle. I did workshops with I can remember one with John Butcher. I was super
Really?
young,
Oh, well,
yeah, with John Butcher, with
he's a
um
great guy. Yeah.
or even Cobalt. I had one workshop with Cobalt.
Really? Oh, wow.
So yeah. So they were all Lauren Newton. So they all this generation, they were around. They gave workshops, of course not in Austria, but I didn't care. So I traveled, uh, went to Holland. So
Mm.
this was like 1 year where I was just traveling around and like sucking in what I could get in a way. And of course, I started improvising first with the voice. This was before I knew.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah,
Wow. Oh, okay.
yeah. Vocal improvisation was easier to start with in
Sure.
a way, uh, and also I could connect in Graz because there was Sheila Jordan
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
teaching at the jazz department, and also Jay Clayton.
Oh, yeah.
So I heard, of course, Jay Clayton perform, and she also did free stuff at that time. And I had an hour with her. I had a lesson also with Sheila Jordan at
Oh,
that
wow.
time because I still did not know, where is my path leading me, and I knew improvisation. That's it, but at that time I did not know yet the free scene. But as I said, Jay Clayton was already a link to that world, and then I started also improvising on the piano, of course,
Mm.
and yeah, and this is what I'm still doing, because
Yeah.
this is something you have to do by yourself. No one can tell you play this or that. You have to find your voice, and I could say it's autodidact. It's
Yeah.
autodidactic in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, because the technique and everything else, the
You had
knowledge,
that, yeah, of course.
I had that, and then later I studied composition to just also deepen this aspect. But for the improvising, for this musical practice, I always felt I have to do it. I have to learn it by doing, by playing with musicians, sharing ideas, and then refining my own material and my tools and everything.
How did you, when I played sometimes with small chamber orchestras and I wrote music for classical musicians who were technically amazing, they could play anything, right? But then there were free sections and they were quite puzzled always with that. How did you, as a classical musician, kind of start and open your mind to not stick to, in classical world, what's written, but just, was it heavy in the beginning, or what was your process there?
No, for me, actually, it felt right. For me, it was like that playing a score in a concert was super stressy for me. It was a huge stress, and I always felt this is not where I belong to. This is not my way of
Expressing.
playing music, and I'm a very creative person, and it took so many years. If I would have been introduced to jazz, let's say, during my childhood, I definitely would have loved it, because I'm a creative person. But there was only the classical music around me, so I was not introduced to this. And then finally, I saw an option, a possibility to like really unfold my creative power with music, with the piano, with the instrument. So for me, it was like a relief in a way.
Yeah.
To finally
Be
have
free.
like this connection with the instrument. This creating with the instrument. It's so human. It's so natural, and yeah.
Did you immediately start leading bands and concerts, or did you first start solo piano, or like when did you start? How was that like for you, becoming a band leader or organizer?
Yeah, it started. I finished my classical studies, and I was already starting to improvise. I was at all these workshops I told you, and there, of course, you meet musicians. And at that time, I already had a percussion player from Switzerland. She was also into improvisation, and I had a duo with her, for example. So these were my first steps, I could say. And then I played in a band. I was actually first day. This band was quite interesting, because the singer, she had a jazz background, and the pianist and cellist, she also played the cello. She had a classical background, but was already more into the jazz thing. And then I came into this band, and there was also a percussion player, and they told me, yeah, we would like to do our own pieces that with improvisation in between. They had some kind of ideas, but no one wrote the pieces. So this was the moment I thought, I can do that.
Okay.
So actually, with this group, it was a quartet. With this quartet, I started to write for this group, and of course the pieces were like that there were parts with improvisation, and then after many years, the compositions were more complex, and the improvisations from my side were more free, more open. And this was also then the end of the that band, because before the pieces, you know, it was so, yeah, we had songs and it was like really pieces, but then of course, you know, I break out of that
Sure.
more and more, and then this group ended, and parallel, I was already in. I already had my foot in the free improvised music scene. So yeah, I started collaborating with different people, and yeah, I'm still doing that,
Yeah, absolutely.
And more internationally than national, I could say, because I don't know, it's just my way of playing, and also my aesthetics require a certain type of musician. And I remember when I started improvising the scene in Vienna or Austria, they all jumped on this very abstract, minimalistic way of improvising. And at that time, for me, it was not authentic at all. And that's why I had to look uh, across the borders to find the musicians who are flexible, like the Chicago musicians. This
Yeah.
is what I really appreciate. They can easily move from very concrete material to totally abstract new music material, and it can be powerful, it can be energetic, which I sometimes really love. I like these ecstatic moments on one hand, but then on the other hand, I also like the moments of introspection,
Mm-hmm.
and where it's more sound oriented. And so this kind of musicians I had to find,
Yeah.
and I did find them, and yeah, this is my approach.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, I also had the same story. Just to be able to
Yeah.
play the music you want to play, I had to, in Slovenia, early 2000s or late 1990s, there
Mm,
was like no one playing this, like
mm, mm,
Eric Dolphy or, investigating into free stuff. And so
mm.
interesting. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
how you mentioned Graz before, and Graz is famous for, I'll put it like that, for a straight ahead jazz. They have the jazz university there, and but Austria has, in the last few years, it has quite many venues. I mean, at least I played in so many venues. How has, in
Yeah,
your eyes,
definitely.
changed the
Mhm.
scene? Has the scene changed also, musician-wise and venue-wise, let's say, from when you started, or
Mm,
for better or worse? I don't know.
no, no, no. Some of the legendary venues or festivals are still there,
Yeah,
and I mean, like Nickelsdorf
yeah,
and Ulrichsberg and all that. Uh, yeah, they are still dedicating
to
the
improvised music. Yeah,
festivals to this music. Uh, of course, the younger generation is here now. You can see that now this generation, they had contact with improvisation and that much earlier than my
yeah,
generation, I would say. So you see, there are a lot of musicians now coming out either from classical, contemporary, or mm, even jazz. Not so many. It depends where they studied, probably.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, but they yeah, much more young musicians, I would say.
yeah.
The venues are more or less the
The
same.
same. Yeah.
There have, let me think, like for example in Ulrichsberg, there is now a young guy now
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
curating, because the Alois,
Oh, yeah. He's okay.
he stopped
I
because
didn't
he
know that. Okay.
retired. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting in the next years, because a lot of these like really famous festivals, the guys who run it have a certain age, and it's going to be interesting what the new generation, yeah, how they gonna continue the work,
Yeah.
and what kind of interest they have,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it might be different, because the generation is different, and but at the same time they're gonna face probably that the fundings for culture might go down, which is already, I mean, in Austria we can already see it, and in other countries too, and it's going to be interesting how we gonna continue. For
Yeah.
me, I know this music will not die. Yeah, we can deal with it, and we definitely, I think the subversive aspect will come out more
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
because it can somehow, I have the feeling that even creative music, the capitalistic idea, can even grab this kind of music in a way and make a product, and
Yeah.
it's kind of very, it's can
Hip
be
or
very hip or
yeah.
whatever, which is, I mean, fee wise, money wise, maybe good, because there's more money in it, but it has also another side.
Yeah.
And this subversive aspect, I think, is still there, and this is what's gonna rescue and save us, I
Yeah.
think, because we can deal with that, because all the others will quit this music,
True.
who
You really have to love it, yeah, to do that, yeah.
all,
Yeah.
all the others will, because they will quit it, then maybe it's less who do it, but the others will insist, and they will find subversive ways to
To do it, yeah.
to
Yeah.
present concerts or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think this is maybe also a connection to jazz,
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always been on the verge, or like, on the border. But it's also, for me, this is like the question of I mentioned last year you got, like, I don't know, 10, 15 albums out, various collaborations. Also the idea of of an album, for me, that's like a question, what to do, like the CDs, and what is an album nowadays, or do you put it out, you get these amazing reviews, does this help? Like, I'm always questioning what's the purpose of putting it on a CD, and then I'm like, shit, yeah, I want to document what I'm doing at a certain time. I guess that's egoistically
Yeah,
speaking, but it's just like the idea of an album, that's like, so many of us are like
of
puzzled by it,
course.
what.
Because also this has changed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now with all the download possibilities, and the streaming,
Yeah.
of course you have these questions.
It's no
And
you basically spend money to make an album. It's like a hobby almost, making albums. I don't know, sometimes I feel like that. It's just like, okay, another album, super.
mm, mm.
And it's a bizarre, yeah, industry.
Yeah, But then, just think of how they did it in the old times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sandra, like, putting out the LPs by himself, and the covers, the
yeah,
cover
yeah,
made by himself. So this is what I think the subversive
yeah,
power behind it.
yeah,
And on this we can count,
yeah,
no matter
absolutely.
what's happening, and if they cut the fundings, of course we fight against it, uh, but still, this is our secret power, I think.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, I agree, actually. Uh, I wanted to ask before already that, when we played together, I really loved observing you when you're preparing the piano, and like, I could just watch you instead of playing with you. But when did you start doing this, and adding all these different gadgets and stuff? How do you get ideas for sounds and?
Mhm. Well, I always wanted to reinvent my instrument, and like I see it like a living organism. And sound-wise, of course, why should I not include the inside of the piano? Why not? Yeah. But of course, I also use the keyboard. Why not? Same thing. But the inside piano just gives me or allows me to find like a personal sound in a way. Also, it's kind of more flexible because like pitch wise, for example, I'm much more flexible in if I'm using playing the strings directly, for example, because this is something the keyboard can be a universe, of course, but you are just limited to to the pitches in a way, and we know that pitch is not a point, but it's a region. But if you have the keyboard of a piano, it seems like it's like a point, you know. And sometimes this I felt super limited playing, you know, with strings, for example, or even woodwind players, or you know, you feel so limited because they open maybe a certain sound world which is more focused on the region around a pitch, and then you cannot participate. So that's one reason, but also the sound wise, it's just an extension of the instrument.
I love that. Elisabeth, what's still in the schedule for you for this year? Touring wise, album wise, project wise, what are the plans for the upcoming months, weeks?
Yeah, so I will have a tour with the Flight Mode Quartet. This is with Harry Söström and Tony Bach and John Edwards. So we played, we worked together. Let me see, since 2 years. We have one CD out, and we have a tour coming up in March. And I have another little tour with the Wild Chamber Trio. This is a trio with Gianni Mimmo from Italy, and Clementine Gasser, a cellist from Austria, originally from Switzerland. And we have been working a lot before COVID, but then we kind of lost connection, and now this year we reconnect. So I look forward to that, because it has been some years, and it's could be interesting to re-meet and reconnect. So this is coming up, and one album will be released with Jasna Jovicevic. You know her?
No. Where is she from?
Well, you should know her. She is a saxophone player from Serbia.
Oh, she lives in Zagreb. That's her, right?
No, she does not live in Zagreb.
That's a different lady then.
Lives, she is a great musician, and I knew her via Annette Giesriegel, who is a vocalist, who actually was the vocalist of this first band I played in. So she is the one. Yes, she is the one who studied jazz at the jazz department in Graz. She started with Jay Clayton. We played in this band, and she also went towards experimental, free improv stuff. And we did not work since this band broke up, but now in the last years we started to work again together with this trio, with Jasna Jovicevic.
I'll check her out. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to check her out. She's great. She's a great player, and also she also works. I think she does a lot of research, jazz research, and all that. She's she's really great.
Well,
And
fantastic.
again, I have to say what is quite obvious, that the focus, it might be jazz or it might be creative music. The focus often is very centralized on certain countries, and especially the southeast countries in Europe. There's no focus
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the scene, and it's
absolutely.
creative. It's creative musicians there, and like in Vienna, I'm one of the co-curators of a concert series at the Celeste in Vienna, and my focus for my curation is to like really present musicians from Eastern Europe,
Yeah,
Southeastern Europe, because I really think they are missing. They are missing at the festival
yeah,
lineups, etc.
true.
So that's why I also I really like working with Jasna, and she will be at the university at Cook in Graz for the next semester,
Mm.
and we'll have one course, which is good, which is really good
To
that she
open
got
up a
it.
bit, yeah,
Yeah.
the
So
scene.
this the CD, it's a live recording which was made at Radio Belgrade.
Oh, really? Wow, okay, interesting.
Yeah, and it will come out with not two records. So
Beautiful, okay.
yeah,
Nice.
this is what's coming up next, and then I also have a trio from Nickelsdorf with Didi Kern and Martin Brandelmeier.
Mm-hmm.
Strange combination because I play with two excellent drummers. I loved it. It was really fun. And yeah, we are now looking for a label to bring out the
The music,
recording,
yeah.
because we can easily get the recording of
Yeah,
that.
beautiful.
And of course, during the tour with Ear Scratcher in the States in December, we recorded a lot of concerts, and out of that, for sure, we're gonna have a
Make
CD out
something, yeah.
in fall probably. Yeah,
Beautiful.
and then tour in Europe again next year if it works out. It's super hard, because
Oh man, I know.
who is gonna pay the free flights? This is
Yeah,
gonna be a hard one, but
yeah.
we insist. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting harder after COVID. My idea, like organizing gigs, it's gotten really harder. It was way easier, I think, before COVID. Somehow, you send an email, and it was
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah.
okay. Now it's like really a struggle to get well-paid gigs. I'll put it like that. And
It's hard, yeah,
but
especially tours.
yeah,
Setting up tours is
oh
super difficult
yeah,
because the venues, yeah, we don't know yet. We don't
yeah,
know about the budget, and
yeah,
then but you cannot hold the date so long, and yeah,
yeah.
it's really hard. No matter who the musicians are,
Oh yeah, yeah,
even if
absolutely.
it's
I agree.
like big names, it's
Absolutely.
still hard to to set up tour.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, we'll keep on
Mm.
biting and fighting, like you said. So
Yes, yes,
cool.
yes.
Um, Elisabeth, I'll leave you a nice. At least we have sun here. I don't know, like 60K north of me. What do you have? But
Yeah.
I'll leave you a nice
We also have
morning.
sun.
So drink coffee in the
Yeah, we
sun.
also
So
have sun and also a blue sky,
we too, us too.
which is good. Yeah.
Super.
And I have to say, I also enjoyed playing with you.
Yeah, man.
So
I
it
hope we have
was
to do it.
great.
We
Yeah,
have to do it
yeah,
again, hopefully one day. So
yeah,
would be nice.
definitely.
Super.
Yeah. Mm.
Cool.
Okay.
Vielen Dank.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hvala lepa.
yeah, exactly. If you're gonna be around, let me know. We get together for a coffee or something, or that we get to play. We have to organize a session or something. So would be nice.
Mm.
So, beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, Elizabeth, I'll let you know
Thanks,
when this is out.
Salamon.
I'll send you a link and everything. So,
Okay.
cool.
Good.
Okay.